So let me know if this sounds familiar. You have a brand new model come out for the third time this week, and naturally you go on YouTube, you close your eyes and you open them, and all of a sudden you have 100 brand new tutorials, all of them structured in the exact same way. Insert name of model is absolutely insane and changes everything. You then are lured to click on said tutorials, and then in the tutorial you watch someone build a website you're never going to use, build a 3D game you're never going to play, and create some form of app that wasn't on your to-do list to begin with. Sometimes you'll even see someone scroll through and read with you for the first time a new model's benchmarks, as if those numbers tangibly mean something to the majority of your day-to-day work. There must be a better way, right? Right. In this video, my goal is to show you a way that you can run your own benchmarks for the actual work that you use, so that when a brand new model comes out, you don't have to watch a tutorial. You can just run a simple slash command that I will give to you by the end of the video and quickly know if this brand new model actually changes anything for you whatsoever, or if you should just park it on the side and focus on the stuff that actually matters. So if you're bored of the repetitive videos that you see every single week and you want something that actually moves the needle, then let's jump in. So every single time a model drops, you get a series of benchmarks. The unfortunate thing is, unlike the benchmarks in what they're testing for, like Web Dev Arena, Math Olympiad, SVG Unicorns, your actual work are a series of client emails, briefs, repo audits, health logs, lead lists, PowerPoint presentations, and things that are actually tangible. So instead of relying on someone else to hopefully go over the very use case that applies to you, you can have something like Claude or Codex go through all of your chat histories in the past, isolate all the common tasks that you execute, and it can survey exactly how it was run and how it was executed by prior models and run those exact same tasks and projects with this brand new model. So whether it's rewriting a cold email and testing that out on different effort levels, or drafting some launch post, in my case, I have over 1,000 conversations on my system, so almost 2 gigabytes worth of liquid gold in terms of information that I can feed to the AI so the AI can assess itself and test it against a rubric on how good it is against this cutting edge brand new model. So how this works is you have AI scan your entire system for all the conversations you've had. And then in those conversations, you mine for core nuggets. What are the core initiatives and tasks that you actually execute day to day? Because these are the very things that are worth testing with the brand new models. And these are the things that will tell you, yes, it's worth paying more. Or you know what? You could probably run this model on low effort and get the exact same benefit of running this other one on extra high. Now, naturally, having an AI grade itself leads to a lot of bias. So what you do is you create a rubric yourself on what you decide your benchmark to be. That could be based on vibe, it could be based on specific tasks, on the copywriting, whatever you want. And the main idea here is once you create your own rubric for what your personal benchmarks are, that could be performance on those specific tasks, as well as things like a vibe check on the verbosity of the model. How judgmental is the model? How sassy is it? You get to create what the metrics that matter to you are. And then once you run this kind of skill, you'll be able to compare Opus 4.8 to Opus 5 to Fable 5 to whatever brand new model comes out, whether it's Claude Code, Codex, Kimi. You can keep evolving the skill as you want. And like I'll show you in just a few moments with all of these open tabs, you'll be able to do something as simple as writing /benchmark and then writing the command. So go compare Opus 4.8 to Opus 5 on medium and low effort. It'll go do this audit for 30 to 40 minutes, test it out, wrap it against your rubric, create the report, and tell you exactly what the overall verdict is. So these are the 3 trials I'll walk you through, but just to show you how it works, you would just open a brand new terminal. We will log in to a brand new session. And again, you can make this work with whatever language model of choice, and you can do /benchmark. There we go. And I would say compare Opus 4.8 on low to Opus 5 on low for copywriting based on what you know I care to create copy-wise. Okay, we'll send this over. It will then start compiling, and then within a few minutes, it should start spawning a brand new live artifact. This live artifact will have a table. This table will show all the different elements that's going to be testing over the next 30-40 minutes, and it will report back in real time once it's completed them. Then once it's ready, it will confirm with you if this is the exact task that you're trying to test. Assuming that it is, you can click Run As Is, and I can say 3 trials, click Submit, and then the next step should be spawning this brand new page so I can keep track of all the trials. And there you go. It spins up a brand new web page that it opens for me in my Chrome browser, and it's working on the very first row, which is the very first test, and both are in progress, and it tells you that both are running on low mode. So you know it's running at the right effort level. Now, instead of making you wait for 40 minutes, I'm going to go through the completed runs and show you the prompts that I sent over. So this one is /benchmark Opus 5 versus Fable 5 on just the executive email triage task. So pretty much email copywriting test. Now, the next trial was running Opus on low and high, as well as Fable on low and high on a particular task. And trial number 3 was pretty much the same thing, where I said Opus 5 at low effort versus Opus 5 at high effort. 3 trials, and I made it generic. So it's kind of dealer's choice on what tasks it would choose. So this is an example of a completed report, and it tells you exactly what you're looking for, which is it tested the task, but it was dead even, meaning it's not worth it for you to switch your entire workflow to use said model outside of cost, assuming that it's head-to-head based on its effort levels. And this is an example of a completed report where we tested one particular task and it tells you exactly what you're looking for. So it doesn't seem that it's worth it for me to switch from my Fable low to my Opus low or Opus medium based on the results of this particular run. And as I scroll down, you'll see exactly what my personal rubric is. And if we pop over for some clarity, one is quality, the quality of the actual answer. Now, quality can be out of 10. You can give it some rubric like I did in terms of what quality means to you. And instruction fidelity, which is how likely is this model going to follow the exact instructions that I give it. And then you have naturally token efficiency, speed, the number of turns. So the more turns a model takes, the more tools it calls. By proxy, the more context gets bloated and the more tokens you consume. So if you pop back over, you can see all of the different tasks that I give it. It will tell me of what percentage of my total workload is said task, what was the prompt that was tested, and what were the results? What was the before and after? How many turns, how many words, how many checks, etc. So it can go through the JSON-L file that contains all of the information, all of the metadata from that run and tell you exactly what happened so you can make the final decision. And just to show you a few other examples, this one says Opus 5 talks like a person and works faster, but it missed this particular brief. If we go to the next one, skip the pricier Claude Opus high, Fable low quietly wins. So as you scroll through, you'll be able to see exactly all the benchmarks for every single effort level, the total time it took, and all of the post-mortem reports, because your goal is clarity. So instead of spending your time constantly feeling confused and lost at looking at all of these headlines with people bickering that this model destroyed this model or this thing killed this brand new industry, you get to be the judge and the one in the driver's seat. And that's really it. So all you have to do is grab the skill that I made for you completely for free in the second link down below, and then you can tailor it to the models of choice. You can change the rubric, whatever you need to get the clarity you're looking for. And as always, if you're seeking a hype-free environment to get a constant stream of exclusive content and resources that I put out all the time, including our Claude Code and Codex Living course, then check out the first link down below and join me in my early AI adopters community. And for the rest of you, if you found this helpful, if you found this a breath of fresh air compared to the repetitive tutorials you watch all the time, I'd super appreciate a like and comment on the video. All right, I'll see you in the next one.